Hi guys, thank you very much for joining me here today. I'm still in the hospital. However, I wanted to create my first video vlog basically because I can't write right now. It's been about 1 week since I had my craniotomy. It's been a very emotional month for me because I've been in and out of the hospital, the ER more specifically, a couple of times. So I've put my friends and family through a lot. However, I guess it's nothing compared to having your brain hacked into, right, and a tumor taken out. I just wanted to let you all know how grateful I am for all your well wishes, for all your prayers mainly, and for all your support. It means the world to me. And I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank all the staff at Memorial Regional Hospital on Johnson Street. I ended up in the ER there 3 times in the past month, and every single person I've come in contact with has been incredible to deal with. They've been so kind and they've been so knowledgeable and so friendly, and they've taken great care of me, and I really appreciate it. And a special thank you to my surgeon, Dr. Christopher Demasi, who is incredible, and all his staff. I only have good praises and good things to say about them. They were exceptional. Every single person I came in contact with, whether it was a nurse or even a cleaner, they were comforting. They were nice to talk to. I tried to, as best I could, between being in and out of it, I tried to thank them as best I could for everything that they did for me. And my family, I'm going to try to hold it together. I don't promise that I will through the whole thing because it's been a very emotional experience. The other thing I wanted to say is now I've been transferred to the Memorial Rehabilitation Center, which is in Memorial South off of Washington Street. And again, the staff here, they're exceptional. They've been wonderful. And I have to admit that the therapy the last 2 or 3 days has been brutal. It's very hard. I'm not sure what you guys are aware of and how much you want to hear or see, but I just thought that rather than having to explain myself over and over again to, you know, friends and family and acquaintances and business partners of my husband and you know, my daughters and sons' friends and whatnot, it would just be easier to just kind of do this video vlog and just let everybody know what's been going on. So like I said, I had my craniotomy. I had a mass. They found a mass in my brain, which has been taken out. I'm not sure if you want to see the photos at the end of this, but you're welcome to look at a couple of pictures I took. I was a little bit unrealistic, I guess, because it doesn't really sink in until you actually go through it. So, you know, in my mind, it was going to be an easy process, and you know, it doesn't always work out that way. And I am extremely fortunate that things did work out the way they did. I still don't have movement in my right arm. However, my brain's fine. I got past the speech therapy today, so I'm really happy of that. Also, we're doing occupational therapy and physical therapy, and then you see neurologists, psychologists, and it goes on and on and on. But everybody has been exceptional. Everybody's been very helpful. So you might be wondering how did all this happen. Around January of this year, I started with a little twitch. I have to hold my hand up because I can't really, you know, it won't hold up by itself. I started with a little twitch in this arm, in this finger actually, and you know, I did go to my doctor when I went for my physical in the end of February, and I told her about it, and she said, well, you know, it's probably a pinched nerve or something of that nature, you know, just like when you get a twitch in your eye or whatever, so that's probably what it is. And we didn't really explore any further than that. And you know, I kept getting the twitches, but you know, it was always the same little finger, and it wasn't, you know, really, it was bothersome, but it wasn't like it was a big deal. Then about, like, I want to say 9 weeks ago, you know, from the one little finger, it went down, it went up actually to 3 or 4 fingers that were twitching. So I thought, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go and see my son's chiropractor, and I'm going to check it out. Maybe it is a pinched nerve and maybe he can help. So that's what I did. I went and see the chiropractor. He took x-rays. He said, well, you know, I see a little bit of compression in your neck, but it's not a big deal, so we can work with that. So we did start some sessions, and you know, he was expecting, and I was expecting it to get better as time went by. And then on July 17th, I went and see him, and he goes, well, you know, what's going on? Are you feeling better? You should be better by now, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, now it's getting worse, because now instead of being just my fingers and my hand, now it's like part of my arm that's kind of twitching also, you know? So he goes, well, what kind of twitching? Like, explain it to me. And actually, as a joke, I had taken a video from my husband, because Eduardo sometimes sends me a note during the day, and he's like, how's your day going? And I figured, you know what, it was happening. I took a video of it happening, and I just happened to send it to him, and I said, you know, well, this is the kind of day I'm having, you know, and it was kind of a joke, you know. So when my chiropractor asked me, well, you know, explain it further, what exactly is happening, you know, because you shouldn't be having, you know, your whole arm like that. It's not normal. And I said, you know, I can do better. I can show you the video. So I did. I showed him the video, and he goes, you need to go to the emergency room, or you need to go and see a neurologist like ASAP. So that was on the 17th. On the 18th of July, I showed up at Memorial Regional Hospital first thing in the morning in the ER, and I told them what was going on, and the ER doctor was very nice. Everybody was very nice, but he's like, well, you know, we can't just run a scan because you have a twitch, you know. It's not how we deal with it. I mean, you need to go and see your doctor. You need to go and see a neurologist. So I said, listen, the only reason why I'm here is because my chiropractor sent me, because he saw something that, you know, he thought was not normal. And the doctor goes, well, describe it to me again. And again, I said, okay, I'm going to show you the video. I showed him the video, and he goes, you're not going anywhere. So next thing I know, you know, I'm heading up to have a scan done, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe he found something. I have a really bad pinched nerve or something. I'm still thinking nerve at this time, at this point in time. And he went and they did a scan and brought me back down to the ER in my little cubicle. I waited about 40 minutes or so for the results. All of a sudden, I see all these nurses coming towards me with all these meds and whatnot and syringes, and I'm wondering, like, what's going on. And they're like, the doctor's going to be here in 1 minute. And he came, and he goes, well, you have a mass in your brain, in the left side of your brain. And I'm thinking, so it's a really bad pinched nerve, right? And he's like, no, we're not talking about pinched nerves here. We're talking about you have a mass in your brain, which is a tumor. And he goes, I've notified neurology. They're scheduling an MRI, and you're not going home tonight, you're gonna stay overnight because we have to do all these tests. So that's exactly what happened. The next day I stayed overnight. The next day I had an MRI, and the neurology team came and, you know, speak to me about the results of the MRI and the scan, and they pretty much explained everything to me. Dr. Damasi was amazing. He told me he believed it had been there for many years because there were signs of calcification, and also there was bleeding that had happened or occurred in the past, which, you know, might have come on as a headache or as a, you know, I don't know, some sort of pain or something, and I just thought it was nothing, you know. So I had been walking around with basically this tumor in my head for a long time. We don't know how many years, actually. Anyway, they scheduled surgery for August 9th. So on the 19th, I was released from the emergency room, from the ER, and I went home. And that Thursday, the following Thursday, I guess August 2nd, I was going to actually meet a girlfriend, and I wasn't too far from the hospital. I was going to meet a girlfriend for coffee at the end of the day, and I had this horrible, which now I knew wasn't twinging, was seizures. I had this horrible seizure on my whole right arm. My purse was on the floor in passenger seat side, so I couldn't really reach it to call anybody. I figured if I stop and honk or something, I don't know if somebody's gonna stop, a good Samaritan's gonna stop and help me or not. I was 2 minutes from the ER, so I just actually drove there to valet. I just parked the car anywhere, and the valet personnel, they were awesome. They came out, they got somebody to help me out of the car, you know, and they put the car away. They brought me in, and at this time I was vomiting violently, and the seizure was totally, on my arm, was totally out of control. And it took them a while to actually get it to calm down. I stayed in the hospital until that Sunday, which was the 5th. Still, that, you know, with a surgery scheduled for the 9th with a admission date of August 8th. So August 8th, at around 1 o'clock in the morning, I had another pretty violent seizure in my arm. So I woke up Eduardo and the family, and we rushed to the hospital. So instead of being admitted at 8 o'clock, I was actually admitted at 1 o'clock in the morning in the emergency room, and they took great care of me. They got it under control, and they did a, you know, mapping of the brain with this special MRI that they do and whatnot. And on the 9th, I had my surgery. I was told everything was removed completely. We're still waiting for the pathology results, which I'm hopeful we'll get in the next couple of days. Dr. Damasi did say that he believes it was benign. They look benign, but you know, you never know. So, you know, your continued prayers are welcome, and I'm very thankful for that. Now I'm here recuperating, trying to get at least, you know, movement back. I've been cleared of this, like I said, the speech part. I've been cleared. I've been cleared also as far as walking. I didn't know that for the past like 5 to 6 months I had been feeling a weakness on my right leg, because apparently when you have something on your left side of your brain, it affects the right side of your body, and you know, vice versa. I had noticed a weakness, but I really didn't think that, you know, it had anything obviously to do with a tumor. To me, it was like, oh, I'm out of shape, you know, or you know, my bursitis is acting up, or, you know, I'm a certain age and these things happen. So I never really made a big deal out of it. Luckily, after the surgery, the strength of the legs are back to normal, although, you know, I still have a hard time with balance at times, which I'm told is normal, and it's something that I have to work with. The biggest drawback again is my arm, which, you know, they believe, because I have feeling in it. I can feel when somebody touches it, scratches it. I can move my fingers ever so slightly. I mean, you have to look to kind of notice. I can lift my arm maybe like a couple of inches. They do believe that with a lot of therapy that hopefully I'll get full use of my arm again eventually. It could take 3 months, it could take a year, it could take more, we don't know. You know, we just have to have faith that it's going to happen. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But you know, I have to say that when you're put in a position like this, it really makes you think about life, and it makes you think about all the things that are really important in life, you know. And so I have a totally different perspective on things. And even though, you know, you're going into the operating room and you're gonna have, you know, somebody touch in the inside of your brain, you know, you never know what could happen. You can be great, or you can stay on the table. You don't know that, you know. So I do have to say that what they say about, you know, your life flashing in front of you, those, you know, last conscious minutes or seconds that you have before you go completely under, you know, it does happen. It's I remember things that I didn't even remember before, you know. And a lot of it had to do with my kids, obviously. I love my husband to death, but you know, your kids are always a very special place in your heart. I think in everybody's heart, you know. And so you know, I thought about a lot of things. I thought about a lot of things, not just about family and friends and community, but also about things going on that, you know, we can't necessarily, or we think we can't necessarily control. But you know, if everybody does a little bit every day, or even once a week, you know, there's so many things that we can actually make a difference in somebody's life, or in somebody's environment. So, you know, if you're watching this video, it's obviously not keeping up with the Kardashians. I don't have to look for it right now. Actually, if you saw the way my head hurts and feels, it's totally gross, because there's dry blood everywhere. I can't touch it. Until I get my stitches out, I can't wash it, you know. So it feels like disgusting. I'm even surprised Eduardo wants to kiss me every day, because it must look horrendous. But regardless, I'm very, very fortunate to have you guys in my life. I'm very fortunate to have all your support. By the way, this is my little Buddha. My friend Danielle and Kevin give it to me, and I love it. The reason why I love it is because it's all about hearts and peace, and that's what we need more of in this world today. A lot of love and a lot of peace. So my family have been super, the ones that are near, the ones that are far. I wanted to just take also this opportunity to thank all my friends, family, for everything they've done, for the beautiful flowers they send, for the beautiful notes they send, the messages, and it goes on and on. My friend Heidi Dennis, who came and visited me and is a true inspiration. These are some photos of me and my family in the hospital right before the surgery. And they just came basically to encourage me, to give me support. Then it's basically photos of me after my surgery and some of the progress I've made. I hope you enjoy it. And I want to thank my beautiful and wonderful sister for all her support, for being here for me and whatnot. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys real soon.
Very sweet. So, I was happy I had her because since she's short and small and I'm short and small, it's like, okay, if she can do it, then I can do it. What I want you to do, I want you to get closer inside the walker now. Yeah. The further you are from the walker, the more pressure it is. You're getting a little tired? Just a little bit? So what happened with that last step?